to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys a whole lot for subscribing to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you are new to Stylish Naija YouTube channel, if you have not subscribed, I would appreciate if you hit on the subscribe button and then also hit the bell on the side to get an update whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so I'm just so very excited. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to actually cut and sew a Dolman off-shoulder circle dress. Yes, you heard it right, a Dolman off-shoulder circle dress. So this dress is a dolman. What you mean by a dolman, for those of you that don't know, a dolman is actually a dress, a pattern that it is like a cut together sleeve. So the sleeve is cut together. That's what a dolman means. And then it is an off-shoulder, and yet it is a circle dress. Okay, so the fabric that I'm going to be using here, I'm using a soft fabric, a soft chiffon fabric. So you can make use of a crepe. The picture that I showed you earlier on, that one was actually done with a crepe. So you could make use, even you could even make use of a scuba for this dress, and then you could also make use of, I'm trying to remember one fabric, you can make use of a satin also. So it is a very beautiful piece. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So before I continue, I'm just going to use my pattern paper here to give you an illustration of how to fold your fabric. Okay, so before we continue, I'm going to do a quick explanation on how to fold your fabric. So you can actually fold in two ways. If you don't want a dress that is very full, so you can fold your fabric like this, and then you want to manage your fabric, you can actually fold it like this. You fold it into two, and then you fold it into four like this, and then this part, so you fold it. So when folding, this part is going to be a little bit wide, and then you have, this is your shoulder part, and then this is the down part of your dress like this. And then you open up this wall like this to give you your two pieces. But you see that this one is looking like much of like an A line, and then you would insert your neckline, and then I'm just trying to do it very quick, and then you could see it's a cut together sleeve already. So with this will make it, this, if you fold your fabric and cut this way, it's not going to be very full. But if you want it to be very full, here's how you are going to fold your fabric. You're going to take your piece like this, and then you are going to fold it as like a triangle. So you can see this is a triangle, and then you're going to insert your shoulder part here, and then the length of your gown is going to be here like this. So I'll cut it out now so you understand it. So you see what we have at the end of this one is going to look like this. So you could trim out, it's a little bit deep. So you see with this it is wide, and then you can insert your, so I'm just trying to so you understand it properly. And then you insert your neckline like this, and then at the end of the day, so you see what you are going to have. So you see it is big and it's full, and then you would join like this and then leave the neckline. So this is how we are going to fold our fabric. So in case you don't want it to be too wide, you can use this pattern and then fold also. So I'm just trying to make it easy for you to understand. So now I have 3 yards of fabric here, so I'm going to cut them one at a time. So I'll divide my fabric into two first. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to fold now. So my fabric is divided into two. So I have, and the material that I'm using, it is by 60, so it is very long. So the measurement that we're going to use now, I'm going to fold it according to the length of the circle dress. So it is folded into two. So I can decide to just take out one and then cut it one, or I can decide to cut everything together. So I'm going to cut everything together, both the back and the front. So I'm going to take, so you could see my fabric like this now. So I'm going to place it on the table like this, and then I'm going to take this side now. I'm going to turn it like this. So I'll do that again for you to see it properly. So you could see what I have now. So I'm going to take it. I'll just take from this nip like this. I hope you can see it from this nip, and then I'll bring it to this side, just like I illustrated with the. Okay, so you see I folded my fabric. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure the length. So because it is an off shoulder, I'm going to be minusing about just 3 inches. I don't want to do 5 inches. You know, regular off shoulder you could do between 5 and 6 inches or 7 inches, depends on how deep. But for this, I'm going to be doing 3 inches. The reason why I'm doing 3 inches is at the end of the day it's going to be 4 inches, because I'm going to use 1 inch for the neckline. I'm going to fold it, and then the other 1 inch I'll use to join the shoulder. So at the end of the day, I'm going to drop by 4 inches. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to mark like this. I'm going to measure from this point like this. And then I'm going to measure up to 35. So when I add my 4 inches, I'm going to have 39. So this is what I'm trying to say. So from this part, so I'm just going to mark it like this, so you will understand. So I'm going to drop. So I'm going to drop with 4 inches, with 3 inches, sorry, like this. So I'm taking out this 3 inches. So at the end of it, it's going to be 4 inches, because I'll add 1 inch of neckline. And then, so I'm just trying to pull it. So this is the length of my gown is 39. So I'm just double check. Okay, so I have the length. So the next thing I'm going to measure now is my sleeve. So I'm just going to do a quick explanation for you on the sleeve measurement. So to measure the sleeve, this is the center back. This is the center back. So what you are going to do from this part of your center back, you are going to measure from here to how long you want your sleeve to be. That's the measurement you are going to use for the shoulder. So you measure from this point to how long. So you could use 15, 16. So you just put your tape and then measure to the length, to the sleeve, where you want it to get to. So for this particular one, I'm going to be working with, I have 13 inches here. So my sleeve, that's from my half center back, I have 13 inches. So I'm going to cut it out. So I just want to create space here. So I'll cut. So I'm just going to cut it out. So because I want to create space here. So the next thing we're going to do now. So you remember I actually dropped with 3 inches. So here is my length now. So I'm going to measure round my length now. I just want to cut it out so I will have space on the table. So I finished cutting it out. So I'm going to turn it. I just want to turn it so we can start working. We'll have our working piece here now. So you could see what we have. So I'll just fold again. I want to just fold it in a very comfortable way. How I'll be able to work with it. So the circleness of the dress is obvious now. So because of the off shoulder, the only thing I just took out was 3 inches. So if you want to take out 5 inches like a normal regular off shoulder, you can actually take out your 5 inches. So it depends on what you want. So mine, I just took out 3 inches from the top. That's just the only difference. So it should not get confusing. So the dress is just so big that it's not even fitting into my table. So I'm just going to leave this side out, and then we'll work with this part. Okay, so we're going to start working now. So I'm just going to take, so you could see it's full. So we're not touching this part, so I'm just going to leave it. So this is the part we're going to be working on. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to mark my neckline measurement. So for the neckline, so you know it is an off shoulder. So the first thing I'm going to do now, so I have my sleeve measurement up to this part. So from this part, I'm just going to, okay, let's leave that part first. I'm just going to come like this. So it depends on how wide you want the neckline to be. So you could see how wide the neckline is looking like because it is an off shoulder. So, and then my shoulder is 14 inches, which is 7 normally. My shoulder is 14. And when you divide 14 into 2, you have 7 inches. So I'm just trying to make sure it is as close as possible so you see it properly. So I think it's better now. So I'm just trying to. So for an off shoulder dress, so my shoulder is 14 inches. So normally when you are making an off shoulder, you can just reduce 1 inch from your shoulder measurement to form the neckline. So it depends on how wide you want it to be. So if I'm removing 1 inch, so I'm going to have 6 inches. But mine, I think I'm going to take out 1.5 inches. So my neckline is going to be like 5.5 inches. Normally, I should take out 6 inches. That's since it is my shoulder is 14 inches, you take out 1 inch from your shoulder measurement. If you are forming any off shoulder neckline, just take out 1 inch, and then the other part is going to be what will form your neckline. But mine, because I don't want it to be too wide and falling off, I'm going to take out 1.5 inches. So I hope you understand it. So this is my 1.5 inches right here now. And then the next thing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to this part like this. I'm going to mark 1 inch. The reason for marking the 1 inch, I want to form a shoulder slope. You know this part now. So this is my neckline. From this point to this point now is my neckline. So this is my sleeve point. So I'm going to slant it like this into the shoulder part. So I'm going to slope it like this into it. I'll slope it into it. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it out. Let's just cut out our slope first. So I'll cut out my slope like that. And then the next thing, I'm going to cut out my neckline. So for the neckline, like I said initially, I said I'm not going to cut out anything. I'm going to use 1 inch to fold it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a notch here like this. Understand? I'm just going to put a notch. So this notch now, this is where I'm going to fold, and then this will form my neckline, and then this will form my shoulder. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to come to this part now. I'm going to determine my sleeve opening. Depends on how wide. So this is my sleeve part now. So I'm just going to this from this point to this point now is my sleeve, and then the opening of my sleeve. So your round sleeve, you're going to measure your round sleeve measurement. So for this, I don't want it to be too wide, so I'm going to use about 7 inches for my round sleeve measurement, which is 14 because I measured it now. It's about 14. So I'll mark it like this on this part like this. And then from this part, from this sleeve part, so this part, let me trim out this part properly so you'll see it. Okay. So from this part now, from here to here, now is my sleeve opening. I'm using 14 inches. When you divide into 2, you have 7. So you can use 9, depends on how wide you want it to be. And then from this point now, I'm going to come in like this because I don't want to truncate. So this point, this is where I'm actually going to get to. So I'm going to come in by, let's say, 3 inches. 3 inches. So I'll just mark the 3 inches like this. I'll come in by 3 inches, and then from this 3 inches point, I'm just going to make a slant like this, just to follow the shape of my dress. So I hope you understand. So this part, I'm curving it because it cannot be sharp like that. So this part will form my sleeve. So I hope you understand it. I'm just trying. It's not a difficult process. So you just come in into this part, and then you You just curve it, you just slant it, like slant it down. So I'm going to cut it right now for you to see. So you see what I'm going to have like this now. So the original dress is actually a high-low dress, but mine, I'm not going to be making it a high-low, but I'm going to explain to you. If you want the back or the front to be higher, you're just going to reduce the front a little bit, and then the back will be longer, but I'm not doing that. So you could see what I have at the end of the day. The fabric is really shaky, so I'm just trying not to get it all mixed out. So you could see what I have. So this is my neckline now. So this is the notch that I made. So I'll open it up now for you to see properly. So this is the notch now that I made for my neckline. So here is the notch. Here is the notch. So here, from here to here now is going to be my neckline. So I know I did notch. So this part I'm going to join here, and then I will join here. And then I would join like this down, and then I will join like this down. So for the pockets, if you want to add pockets to this dress, it is a very simple process. So I'm just going to, let's work with the neckline first. I'll come back to that. So for the neckline, so you can use facing, depends on how you want to do it, but mine is, I'm going to just make it very simple for me. I'm going to use my hemming gun. So because of the notch, I notched it by that 1 inch, that extra 1 inch that I told you that I was going to take out. So I'm just going to take it back to my ironing table like this, and then I'm going to, it's not notched enough. So I'm going to take it, and then I'm going to go and use my hemming gun. I will hem the back neckline and the front neckline. I'm just going to hand hem it down straight, straight. So I'll do that and then come back and show you as we continue. Okay, so you could see, so I finished hemming the neckline. So you could see how it is looking. So you see it, you just hem it down with your hemming gun. So the next thing that is remaining now is just for us to join the shoulders together. So for the pocket, if you are going to be adding a pocket to this, so I'm just going to show you a very simple way and easy way of adding a pocket to your dress. So you are going to measure, so most times I usually use 16 inches, so I'll measure 16 inches down to this part. So and then I'm going to take a piece, so I'll just cut out piece of fabric. So I'm using 9 inches, and then I'm using 7 inches width, and then I'm going to join it. So this is the right side of my fabric, and then this is the right side of my dress. So I'll join it like this, and then I'm going to do the same thing to this part, to this piece. So this is the back piece. So I'll join on the same line. I'm going to join this now. That's the second piece like this. Okay, so I've joined the other piece. So this is the other part of the pocket. So I've just joined it. So I'm going to take it to my machine, and then I'm going to stitch it here, and then stitch this one, and then I'm going to join the shoulder. So I'm going to join the shoulder part. So this is the shoulder. So from the notch part like this. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to follow the same inches that I cut, that I notched out. That's where I'm going to use to stitch the shoulder to this part. And then on this other one also, I would, from this part also, I will stitch it. So I'm going to do that and then come back and show you. Okay, so I finished joining. So I'm going to show you how it looks like now. And it looks beautifully well. That's my grandma. Invented it. So you could see the neckline, so you see it. So like I told you, I said mine, I don't want my neckline to be too wide, so that is why I reduced by my shoulder measurement by 1.5. But if you want it wide, you just remove 1 inch, so instead of the 1.5. So I've tried it on, it's looking good. So the next thing, I'm going to show you how to join this now. So all I'm just going to do now is, okay, I could actually start stitching from anywhere. So I'm just going to start stitching from here like this. And then when I get to the pocket part, I'll just make sure that my pocket are they align together. So I'll stitch like this. And then when I get to this pocket part, I'll come like this and then stitch it like this and then come like this and then come and line my sleeve together, and then I'll stitch like this and then stitch like this. So I hope you understand. So once I'm done, I'm going to use this as a facing for my sleeve. So I'm going to sew it around. Okay, I think I should sew it even before I turn. Yes, it's usually easier that way. So for this part that I'm going to use as facing for my sleeve, I'm just going to take it back to my machine now, and then I'm going to stitch it. I just stitch it like this, just to elongate. Okay, let's put it that way, just to elongate my sleeve. So I will elongate it with this. So if you don't want, you can just fold it, and then I would just join it the way I explained to you now. So I'll do that, and then we're done, and then I'll show you the final look of this dress. Okay, so at the end of the day, so you could see our Dolman off shoulder circle dress. So it came out beautifully well, and like I said, so you see the neckline. So if you don't want it very big, so you can just reduce with 1.5, but if you want it very off, you reduce by 1 inch from your shoulder measurement. And then the dropping, I used 3 inches to drop it, and then I folded my neckline with 1 inch. So at the end of the day, so from shoulder to this point now is 4 inches. So if you want it deeper, you can do 5 inches drop. So you could see it is looking beautiful. So you see the sleeve, the dolman sleeve on it, and then so it is a wrap. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, I will appreciate if you hit on the like button to make me know you appreciate what I did, and then you could drop a comment for me on the comment section. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.